What's up, everybody? Welcome to Save Crystal Gaming. We are doing a Madden simulation today, and we're going to be using Madden 20. Now, the reason I'm using Madden 20 is because we're going back to the year 2000. Okay, I've downloaded a 2000 roster. The new Madden, people are still making rosters in the community section, and I have a whole freaking selection of them in Madden 20. And besides, it's basically the same thing. But anyway, we're going to go back in time, and we're going to see how Madden simulates a 2000 season. Now, this roster is not perfect by any means, but it's pretty darn close, okay? It's pretty darn close. Maybe somebody's number is one off or something, or maybe somebody's not in the right position that should be, but at a first quick glance, I checked it, and everything looks good to me. So if you see something that seems off, I'm sorry, okay? Besides, I don't know who has the roster. I'll put it in the description below that I downloaded it from. But let's give them props, because let me tell you, I've done this one time in Madden 19. I created an old retro roster, and my God, it took so much time. So, hats off to the individual who did do this, and like I said, from a quick glance, this roster looks pretty darn good. So if you want to download it in Madden 20 on Xbox One, it will be in the description below. Real quick though, let's talk about my podcast, Save Crystal. You can check this podcast out on Anchor.fm, Spotify, Google Podcast, and Radio Public. There's multiple places that you can hear this. I talk about video games and my experience with certain things growing up with video games, and it's just sometimes I do them live. Sometimes I'll do live episodes, and I believe a Madden episode will be coming soon. So if you want to hear that, check out Save Crystal, the podcast that I do, and plenty of episodes to go back and listen to that I've already done. It was previously titled the Primetime Podcast, but it has now changed to Save Crystal. Okay, so now we see that I'm controlling the Texans. Alright, now the Texans were not a team in 2000, so the reason I am the Texans is because I am going to simulate and basically give the Texans a loss each time they play. Okay, so it's like a bye week for whoever plays them, and a victory. They get a free victory. I mean, what else do you want me to do, right? Poor Bill O'Brien. I'm recording this fresh off the news. But anyway, yes, there were no Texans, so we're going to simulate. We're going to see how the season goes. When we get to the playoffs, we're going to compare the 2000 season, see how these teams done, and we're actually going to see highlights of the playoffs and into the Super Bowl. Now, a couple things I cannot help. I cannot help the schedule. Okay, Madden, EA does not give you the option to adjust the schedule, so they will not be playing the same schedule that was played in 2000. We'll be playing off the 2019 schedule. Also, the field's going to say NFL 100. Can't help that either, unfortunately. But the games that you do see, I'm going to do my best to make it look like 2000. They're going to be in older uniforms, all of that stuff. We're going all out with the simulation. Now, looking back at the 2000 season, the Tennessee Titans losing the Super Bowl at the 1 yard line from the 99 to 2000 season, the Rams getting the Super Bowl title and got rid of those old throwback uniforms and traded them in for those ugly navy and dark gold uniforms. The Rams were not able to do a repeat. They actually lost in the wild card round to the Saints, who were in the playoffs for the first time since the early 90s and got their first playoff victory. Now, the Redskins were the team that everyone was, predicting. Like, these guys are the ones. They're the ones that's going to do it. They got great draft picks, picking up top free agents like Deion Sanders. However, it did not turn out that way. So, like I said, when we get to the playoffs, we'll kind of compare, see what teams made it, that actually did make it in 2000. But we're going to see if the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Giants can win their, conference and get to the Super Bowl. Wouldn't that be something, though, if that's how this worked out and they both ended up there somehow? I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. Hopefully my Titans in Madden World can get redemption? Let's find out. Okay, so we're finally here. We simulated the NFL 2000 season, and we are at the playoffs. And below me, you can see the actual results from the playoffs in the year 2000 into 2001. And there's some teams here that missed out, that did not make it. We're going to go through those. So right off the bat, we see the Jaguars. Also, real quick, there was no AFC South yet. I should have mentioned that when I was talking about the Texans. It was AFC Central. Nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. But anyway, the Jaguars, the best record in the league. They made it in Madden world. However, they did not actually qualify in real life. The Rams are there, trying to become their, the Super Bowl back-to-back champions. And there's my Titans, baby. They're coming back. Let's see if Madden world can give it to them. The Redskins, as I mentioned in the beginning of this, were a top favorite to actually go all the way, and they didn't even qualify, and they do in this, so that'll be very interesting. Seahawks were not really there in real life. The Raiders were, the Eagles were with Donovan McNabb. The Patriots were not. The Colts were. The Ravens, of course, were, because they won the whole thing. But here you also notice the Giants are missing. What did the Giants do? So we got the Saints. The Saints are in there. They were also, big year for them. And then the Vikings, who went 8-8, but in real life they went all the way to the NFC Championship, losing to the Giants, as you can see below. But anyway, there's the Giants. They went 6-10. So it's not happening. We're gonna have a different outcome. Might be a same winner. The Ravens might go all the way and win it. But we will definitely have to see how this all plays out. So, without further ado, let's check out the wild card games. So, Colts, Patriots, Eagles, Saints, Titans, Ravens, who did play in the divisional round, not the wild card, and then the Seahawks, Vikings. So, let's check these games out and see who's going to the divisional round. Alright, so we kick things off wild card weekend in Baltimore. The snow is on the ground for Brian Billick's Ravens and Jeff Fisher's Titans as we get ready for this matchup. Into the first quarter, we got some first quarter action. McNair sees nothing down the field, so he takes this one himself before sliding down at the 5. Couple plays later, McNair, he takes the snap, sees Derek Mason over the middle, and they connect for the first points of the ball game. Tennessee goes up 7-0 with the PAT. Into the second quarter, Titans with the ball. Eddie George gets rocked by Ray Lewis. Titans send Del Greco out to try to make this a 2-possession game, and the kick is short. No good. The game remains 7-0. On to Baltimore's next possession. Trent Dilfer just past midfield. Looking, sees his guy Shannon Sharp and connects, and he will be tackled down at the 6-yard line. Baltimore threatening to tie. The very next play, the Tennessee Titans defense blows up the line and sacks Trent Dilfer. Keith Bullock, the rookie, getting credited with the sack. They sniffed that entire play out, so the Ravens were then forced to kick the field goal, which they made, bringing the score to 7-3 right before the half. But we're going to head now into the third quarter. Ravens with the football. Hand off to Jamal Lewis, and a beautiful juke move, juking Robertson out of his shoes, basically. The drive eventually stalled, and the Ravens deciding to go for it on 4th down instead of kicking the field goal and being down by a point. Looking like he's got plenty of time, but that blows up quickly as Javon Curse, the freak, gets in there with the sack, and it is a turnover on downs. The Ravens managed to get the ball back with under 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Dilfer connects with Brandon Stokely for a first down, keeping the drive alive, needing a touchdown to win the game. Under a minute now to go. It is 2nd and 10. Dilfer goes back, and guess what? The Titans defense has been a nightmare for this guy today. 4th and 18. Having to keep the drive alive, Dilfer throws it up. and it is brought down by his wide receiver with under 40 seconds to go. A couple plays later, Dilfer takes the snap, sees his wide receiver over the middle, and it is caught for a Baltimore touchdown. Tennessee with one more opportunity as time expires in the fourth. A Hail Mary from Steve McNair is intercepted. It is intercepted by Dwayne Starks, and Baltimore is moving on to the divisional round. So in the Madden 2000 universe, my Titans unfortunately do not go anywhere, and the Ravens are keeping it alive though. They're keeping it alive. They may be able to do this whole thing, but let's see what happens with Donovan McNabb and the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. McNabb looking, here comes big old number 97. Glover gets the sack, forcing Philadelphia to pump this ball away. Nothing really happening though in the first half other than this drive right here. Jeff Blake connects over the middle of the field, and his wide receiver Keith Poole is brought down. A couple plays later, 29 seconds remaining, Blake connects with Jake Reed for the Saints' first points of the game, and it puts them up 7-0 with the PAT. Heading into the third quarter, the Saints pushing again, knocking on the door. Blake, guess who? Jake Reed once again gets his second touchdown of the game. McNabb, look at this beautiful pass, and it is knocked away. Great defense by the Saints. On 4th and 9, McNabb going up again, and it is overthrown. The Eagles running out of time with under a minute to go in the fourth quarter, needing 2 scores. McNabb connects with his wide receiver, Charles Johnson, but it's a little too late because now they need another touchdown. They got the PAT. It's 14-7 Saints. Eagles now forced to have to try an onside kick, and it is recovered by the Saints, giving them the victory and sending them into the divisional round. Game 3 of Wild Card Weekend, Peyton Manning and the Colts taking on Bledsoe and the Patriots, and Bledsoe finds his tight end Jermaine Wiggins right here down at the 1. A couple plays later, hands it off to running back Kevin Falk as he gets the game's first points. 7-0 after the PAT. Peyton Manning with the screen here to Jabbar. Look at this, juking guys left and right, and he is out at the 30-yard line. What a play, Abdul-Jabbar. Kind of scratching my head on this one. The Colts looking to put up 3 points, but it is a fake and they get nothing out of it. But thankfully for their special teams unit, the next possession, the Patriots go to punt the ball away, and it is blocked, and they end up getting a safety. So they don't get 3 points, but they get 2. Chad Cota coming in with the block. Could have been a lot worse for New England had that been a touchdown. But heading into halftime, the Colts get a field goal with 13 seconds left in the second, making the game 7-5 New England. Peyton Manning, though, into the third quarter, connects with Harrison, getting the first down at the 3. A couple plays later, Peyton Manning, it's Harrison again. This time for a touchdown, the Colts take the lead for the first time in this game. Harrison becoming Peyton's favorite target in this game. Colts up 12-7, but it doesn't take long for New England to answer back. A beautiful bomb down the field by Drew Bledsoe, connecting for a touchdown to his wide receiver Terry Glenn. A 60-yard touchdown, putting New England back in front. After trading field goals, though, Peyton Manning with under a minute to go, New England up by 1, needing to get his team in field goal range. Play action, Peyton connects with guess who? It's Harrison, and it's all the way for a touchdown. Beautiful play, and they up the New England Patriots with a 61-yard touchdown. Colts going for 2. Try to make this a touchdown game, and it is caught by the tight end Marcus Pollard. 44 seconds to go. What can New England do? New England's driving with 27 seconds to go. Drew Bledsoe looking, and he throws the interception. And that is the game. Poole hauls it in, and the Colts win this one 23-16. The final game of Wild Card Weekend, Seattle Seahawks up 3-0 with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter, Kitna hands off to Sean Alexander for a touchdown, giving Seattle the 10-0 lead. However, Minnesota would kick a field goal before the half. Into the second half, Dante Culpepper off a play action, looking down the field, a 65-yard pass to Randy Moss, helping the Vikings come back even, 10-10. We wouldn't see anything else till overtime. Overtime is where this game went, still tied at 10 apiece. Leaning on the shoulders of the Seattle kicker Ryan Lindell as he kicks the Seattle Seahawks to the divisional round in a huge upset over the Minnesota Vikings. Seattle advances. Alright, so Madden Universe decides that Steve McNair wins the NFL MVP, which is actually pretty cool, you know, seeing McNair up top there with Peyton Manning, because in 2003 they would actually be co-MVPs. But of course, this is the 2000 season, so Madden Universe predicts that McNair would have won his MVP award a few years earlier. But anyway, the actual winner of the MVP that year was Marshall Faulk, who, as you see, is number 6 on this list. But pretty cool seeing McNair and Peyton up there in the top 2, which we know in a couple years later that actually would happen in a weird tie in 2003, McNair and Manning. Okay, so here's where I'm a little confused. I wanted to look at the stats to see, what kind of a year McNair had to win the MVP, and he had a really good year, with basically 4,600 passing yards, 29 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. It's a good year, but my God, look at Peyton Manning. 41 touchdowns and 10 interceptions? Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. I mean, the only thing I can see here is the reason they picked McNair over Manning was because of he just had a little bit more passing yards. Other than that, really, it should have gone to Peyton Manning. But you know what? I'm not going to complain. Steve McNair with the MVP. Alright, so here we are, divisional round. You see over on the right side of the screen the actual divisional round that took place in early 2001 now, as we are now into January. You see Baltimore beat Tennessee, which actually, we played that game in the wild card round, but the same outcome. Baltimore with the win. Oakland defeating Miami, shutting them out. Miami didn't make it in Madden Universe, but Oakland's there. New Orleans still hanging around. However, Minnesota, you see in our universe here in Madden Universe, they got shut down by Seattle. And then Philadelphia and the New York Giants are nowhere to be found here in our divisional round. But what we do have, we have the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Jaguars, the Seattle Seahawks taking on the St. Louis Rams, not Los Angeles, the Ravens taking on the Raiders, and the Saints taking on the Redskins. I'm very interested to see how the Redskins do, but I think it's actually going to be pretty cool if the Ravens are able to go all the way and do it and kind of like, repeat what actually happened in real life. Now, obviously, they're not going to play the Giants, but who knows who they're going to play. But before we even talk Super Bowl, we got to get through the divisional round and see who's going to the AFC Championship and the NFC Championship. All right, let's hop into the divisional round of the playoffs here. We've got the Oakland Raiders taking on the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens here get the ball first, and on the first play, it is a handoff to Jamal Lewis for a massive gain on the ground. A pickup of 38 yards, taking them into Oakland territory. You will be hearing his name quite a bit more often in this game. But a couple plays later on that same drive, Trent Dilfer would find his wide receiver Jermaine Lewis in the end zone, giving Baltimore the 7-0 lead after the PAT. Oakland on their first possession of the game, Rich Gannon drops back on 2nd and 6, and he is brought down by Ray Lewis. A 51-yard field goal is good on 4th and 13, giving Oakland some points. Here we go again. Look at this. Jamal Lewis. Who can bring him down? Can they bring him down? Yes, they can, but by the time they do, he's already in the end zone for another Baltimore touchdown. Here we see John Gruden. He's not very happy down 14-3, but things are going to get worse before they get better. A handoff to Tyrone Wheatley ends in a fumble. The hit from Kim Herring, and then the recovery by James Trapp. This would lead to a Baltimore field goal before the half, giving Baltimore the 17-3 lead. Alright, we start to see an Oakland comeback here. Look at this. A tip ball caught for a touchdown by David Dunn. Oakland Raiders now only down a touchdown. Into the fourth quarter with just over 5 to go. Another touchdown for the Oakland Raiders, tying it up to the wide receiver Ricky Dudley. The Ravens now with 2 minutes to go, trying to get into field goal range, take the lead again, but Trent Dilfer's brought down by Darrell Russell. It all comes down to a field goal with just 4 seconds remaining, and the Raiders are kicking their way into the AFC Championship, and the Baltimore Ravens will not repeat history in the Madden universe. Alright, some NFC action. The Redskins up 2 field goals on the Saints into the second quarter. Jeff Blake connects with his tight end over the middle, a short pass. Andrew Glover giving the Saints the 7-6 lead. Right before halftime, though, we've got Brad Johnson connecting with his tight end, Steven Alexander, to give the Redskins the lead right before the half. Redskins lead 13-10 after a Saints field goal in the third quarter. Brad Johnson, though, connecting with Chad Dukes down at the 1-yard line. The very next play, Stephen Davis powers his way into the end zone to give the Redskins a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. Jeff Blake, knowing he needs to get his team in a good position, just decides to throw a bomb down the field. Maybe somebody will come down with it, and they do. They do. Joe Horn brings it down to the 12-yard line. A couple plays later, a handoff to number 34, Ricky Williams. He brings this game back to within 3. With no timeouts remaining, the Saints needing to get into field goal range, just out of field goal range. I don't understand why they decide to not run out of bounds, but yet Deion Sanders makes the tackle and seals the victory for the Redskins, sending them to the NFC Championship. Now, as we pretend the game does not say the Rams are from Los Angeles in this game, the St. Louis Rams get on the board here as Kurt Warner connects with Isaac Bruce in the back of the end zone. This was reviewed, but it gave them the lead 7-0. Not a lot going on there in the first half. A couple Seahawks field goals, but that was it. But you see Ricky Waters getting stopped there by London Fletcher. A couple plays later, another handoff to Ricky Waters, and look at the way he's handling that ball. It makes me a little nervous, but all that matters is he gets in the end zone and he was untouched. Seahawks with the lead. Going for the 2-point conversion, John Kitna connects with his tight end over the middle, giving him the 14-7 lead with 1:10 to go in the third. St. Louis sticking with the game plan of handing the ball off to Marshall Faulk. It's going to prove to work, because the very next play, he is into the end zone, tying this game up 14-all. But we're not done showing the Marshall Faulk highlights. Look at this next play. A 33-yard touchdown by Marshall Faulk. One juke. See ya. He's gone. To the house, giving St. Louis a 21-14 lead. John Kitna, though, trying to tie the game up with 35 seconds to go, finds his tight end again in the back of the end zone. We've got a tie ball game. Are we heading for overtime? And this right here is why they call them the greatest show on turf. Hoping to maybe get in field goal range or play for overtime. We weren't real sure what we were going to see, but what we did see was Kurt Warner connect with Torrey Holt as he left guys in the dust left and right. One man to beat. He outruns them and gives the Rams the victory, sending them to the NFC Championship against the Redskins. The Rams would eventually win this game 28-21 as time expired there in the fourth quarter. What a finish. Alright, who's meeting Oakland in the AFC Championship? We've got Mark Brunell handing the ball off to Fred Taylor as he takes this into the end zone, giving the Jaguars a 7-6 lead. Okay, so unfortunately I don't have very many highlights to show you guys because I walked away and my controller disconnected and the game played in the background. but I do have the one that matters the most. The final plays here. A handoff to Fred Taylor as he takes the lead with just seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Jaguars up by 4 now with 26 seconds to go. Can Peyton Manning work his magic? We just saw what happened in the Rams game. But it's 4th and 10. 2 seconds to go. Peyton Manning going to throw this one up. It's not going to reach the end zone. They're too far back. And believe it or not, it is hauled in by one of his wide receivers as time expires. They even have all their timeouts. No time to call one, though. And the Jaguars are going to the AFC Championship. Okay, so a real quick pause before we get into the AFC NFC Championship games. I wanted to say that I'm very happy that the Seahawks lost. And here is why. These are the standings for the actual 2000 season. Here you see the AFC Central, AFC West, and the AFC East. And if you look in the West, the Seahawks were a part of the AFC. A lot of people didn't know that, but at one point, yes, the Seahawks were in the AFC. So when I saw the Seahawks made the playoffs in, this Madden simulation, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird because now they're going to be competing in the NFC where they would have competed in the AFC if this were an actual thing. Okay, so for the final time, we look at the playoffs here for the 2000-2001 NFL season, and we look at the championship section here. Baltimore taking on Oakland. Obviously, Baltimore and ours they lost. And Oakland, however, is still in it. Oakland in the AFC Championship taking on the Jaguars. The Jaguars in Madden Universe. Back-to-back AFC Championship games. Lost last year, the Tennessee Titans, and in ours, they'll be taking on the Oakland Raiders. And the Oakland Raiders had a really good team around this time in the NFL. Now, down in the NFC Championship, we have a different look. Nothing doesn't look we don't have any kind of similarities here. Can you imagine getting the NFC Championship and losing 41-0? One game away from the Super Bowl and losing 41-0. Wow. But anyway, yeah, we've got the Rams looking to defend their Super Bowl championship from the year before, taking on the Redskins, who were the favorite for the actual NFL 2000 season. One of the favorites. So let's hop into the AFC and NFC championship highlights, and then we're going to go right in to the Super Bowl. All right, welcome to Championship Weekend. We've got the AFC Championship first between the Jaguars and the Raiders. Mark Brunell on the first possession of the game, connecting with his wide receiver, Keenan McCardle, for a touchdown, putting the Jaguars up 7-0. A little into the first quarter now, Rich Gannon leading his team down the field and connecting with his wide receiver, Tim Brown, his go-to man, to tie the game up 7-all. Raiders back in the red zone, this time a handoff to Napoleon Kaufman. He's completely untouched and into the end zone. 14-7, Raiders lead. Second quarter action, Mark Brunell looking down the field, finding Jimmy Smith for a decent gain inside the 15. Setting the Jaguars up, great field position. Brunell going back to Jimmy Smith again, and he is going to fight his way into the end zone. Touchdown Jaguars, 14-all. Jaguars on the board again. Raiders with the football, just over 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, connecting with David Dunn on a huge pass play down to the 13-yard line. Now the Raiders inside the 15. First and goal from the 1, a handoff is stopped by number 97, Ronaldo Wynn. What a stop. But the next play, it's going to be a handoff to Wheatley, and he's going to find his way into the end zone, giving the Raiders a 21-14 lead. 2 Raider field goals would come after that, but here we are into the fourth quarter, 5:24 to go on a 2nd and 8 from the 12, and end around number 82, Jimmy Smith, again for Jacksonville. He's out there putting it all on the line, wanting this game. 3rd and 10, fourth quarter action, 27-27, Rich Gannon, Tim Brown to the house, touchdown Raiders. 34-27. Coming down to the wire. 1:09 to go. Needing a touchdown. And it is an interception, and it is returned all the way. Pick 6, giving the Oakland Raiders the victory. And the Oakland Raiders are AFC champions heading to the Super Bowl. 41-27 victory, but let's now head to the NFC Championship between the Rams and the Redskins. Coming to the end of the first quarter, the Rams up 3-0. Brad Johnson, though, is going to see Steven Alexander wide open to the left, and he's going to walk right into the end zone, giving the Redskins the lead 7-3. Redskins knocking on the door again from the 2. Brad Johnson connecting through the air for another touchdown. Redskins up 14-3. Kurt Warner and company finally getting things going with this offense. Kurt Warner takes a snap, drops back, and finds Torrey Holt over the middle into the end zone. Finally, the Rams find the end zone. Touchdown Rams. 14-10, 20 seconds to go in the second quarter, and this is the kind of thing you don't need to happen if you are the Rams. Completion, Steven Alexander, touchdown again for him. And just before the half, as the Rams started getting things going, another touchdown. But that's okay because Marshall Faulk finds the end zone in the third quarter. They're trailing. They're trying to find a way to grab the lead. Going for 2, making this a 3-point game. Close, but it is well defended by the Redskins. 24 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Rams back down to the 5. Kurt Warner looking. Plenty of time standing in the pocket. I don't even think that was intended for Isaac Bruce, but Isaac Bruce hauls it in. Touchdown Rams as they take the lead for the first time since the first quarter. Going for 2 again. It is caught. It was tipped and caught, but unfortunately out of the end. Under 45 seconds to go in the game, the Redskins block a field goal by the Rams, but there was a flag on the play, offsides. The Rams got to make the kick again, and this time it went through. 25-21, 19 seconds to go, and the Redskins unable to get out of bounds with no timeouts remaining. Time expires before they get another play off. The Rams, NFC champions, meeting the Oakland Raiders in the Super Bowl. All right, Super Bowl 35 action. The Rams return to defend their Super Bowl championship after beating the Titans last year. Here we are at the coin toss. We've got Kurt Warner standing across from Rich Gannon. Both teams around this time in the actual NFL were really good as we have a clap-off battle between the two quarterbacks. Rich Gannon takes the field to lead his offense, and here we go. Starting off here on the first possession, Rich Gannon connecting with Tim Brown, not wasting any time. A 40-yard completion on his first pass. Rich Gannon dropped back on 3rd and 5. Enough for the first down. We're going to keep things rolling at the 8. Rich Gannon, after a couple sacks, 3rd and goal from the 16, finds his wide receiver, David Dunn, for the touchdown. First touchdown of the Super Bowl, 7-0. A handoff to Marshall Faulk for a 21-yard gain, setting the Rams up just outside of Oakland territory. On that same drive, the Rams looking for the end zone. Kurt Warner on 3rd and goal, throws across his body, and Blevins is not able to haul it in, but what a pass. What an incredible catch that would have been. They take the field goal. The Raiders were also forced to take the field goal here as they thought they had a touchdown, but it was clearly out of bounds once they reviewed it. Score is 10-3 off of play action. Kurt Warner is going to find Isaac Bruce, and watch this. Wow! Breaks the ankles. Basically breaks the ankles of Torrey James, and that's got to be embarrassing. That's got to be embarrassing. All right, though. After 2 field goals, the score is 13-10, and an interception by Kurt Warner here gives Rich Gannon and the Raiders a chance here with 50 seconds left, down to the 15 to get some points before the half. 20 seconds to go from the 19, 3rd and 15. Rich Gannon finds number 88, David Dunn again, celebrating with Jerry Porter in the end zone. 20-10, the Raiders again in the end zone, piling the points. Number 26, Napoleon Kaufman, 27-10. Rams needing to get something going on a 2nd and 12. What a play. Gets up there and hauls this in with one hand is number 84, Ernie Conwell, the tight end. Keeping the Rams drive alive, moving the chains. From their own 38, Kurt Warner and the Rams needing points here late in the 3rd quarter. Torrey Holt jukes a man and gets tackled inside the 15 down to the 14. A couple plays later, handoff, Marshall Faulk breaks a tackle and finds his way into the end zone. 17-27, a 10-point lead for Oakland. Check this punt out though. On a 4th and 11, having to punt the ball away as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. Rolls down to the 1, but this is where it gets better. The Rams on a 99-yard drive. Kurt Warner finishes it off with a pass to Torrey Holt. Touchdown Rams. Now only a 3-point game with 3 minutes 24 seconds to go. Touchdown Raiders again. This Rams defense could not stop Rich Gannon. He was on fire. Down by 10 late in the 4th quarter, the Rams needing something to happen, but back-to-back sacks put them in trouble, put them in danger, but knowing they need at least a field goal is made by Jeff Wilkins. Now we just have a touchdown game. 7 points is the difference. It came down to 59 seconds left, the Rams using all their timeouts. A risky call by John Gruden to go for the field goal. If they make it, great. The game's probably over. If they don't, it sets the Rams up in great field position, only needing a touchdown. But with no timeouts remaining, this is where the Rams ran into trouble. A pass with 20 seconds left to Isaac Bruce, not able to get out of bounds and not able to get another play off. The Raiders are your Super Bowl 35 champions in the Madden 20 universe. I want to thank everybody who watched this video. If you guys like it, we'll do some more of these. Maybe we'll hop into some of the older Maddens. But the Oakland Raiders win this Madden simulation of the 2000 roster. Super Bowl 35 champions. Rich Gannon won the MVP. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.